Okay, welcome everybody. Week 10, moving into week 11. So we're making great progress towards the next big assignment, the next big project, which is video. So a couple things. Today we're going to finish up with WordPress. We're gonna create a template which we'll use later throughout the rest of the course when we'll go back and create pages for each of your assignments. So you'll use the template that you create today for your security assignment, and you'll copy and paste stuff from the assignment into that page. You'll create another template. You'll create another page based on the template we'll create today for your Photoshop, and you'll put a bunch of your Photoshop images on the page, and same for Illustrator, for WordPress, for AI generation, and then for video. You'll actually put your final video on the web page is in the website as well using this template. So next week we'll probably finish today. We'll move into video. You're going to need a few things for the video that you might as well get ready, start getting ready. You'll need a topic. You can do any topic you want. It's going to be 2 minutes long. It'll have audio that will go out and we'll get audio. Probably we'll use an AI tool to generate the audio, so we won't have to worry about copyright because we want to put it up on YouTube. If you use copyrighted material, it'll remove it. There's algorithms that'll just look at it and find it and just remove it. So we'll generate some audio using AI tools, and then we will you're going to need a logo. So I recommend going into Illustrator, maybe going into one of the logo generator tools and generate a logo using one of the free tools. Uh, don't pay for it. You won't be able to download it, but you can do a screenshot and then either use that logo as is or bring it into Illustrator and trace over it to create a logo. You're going to need a topic again, and then you're going to need about 20 to 30 images and maybe 3 or 4 videos from YouTube. Okay, getting the videos off YouTube is a little tricky. They don't like you to do it. I'll show you a couple ways that we've used in the past, or I'll show you some libraries that you can go to get videos. There's also AI tools that will generate video for you. I'll do some research. I've never used them before, but I'll do some research and maybe not next week, but the weekend after, we'll do AI tools for generating video. All right, so that's where we're at. So um, go ahead and log into your SiteGround account, go to your dashboard, and we're going to go to the pages here. And remember last week we did the home page. We edited with Elementor. And you first off, you went through all the widgets and all the different uh, types of widgets here, and you played around with them. And then we used the heading widget and the text widget, and either the down here, excuse me, the image box or the icon box to create these sections for each assignment, right? The icon boxes are easier. You basically go in and find an icon that represents here. Go to the icon library and find one that represents video, or one that represents websites, or one that represents AI tools, and find that one and add it in. You can also use pictures using the AI ChatGPT, or even Photoshop, or another one called Canva will do it for you. You can create some pictures that represent each assignment. Or you can use an image from the assignment, right? So that'll be your home page. And then later on, after you start creating these pages, I'll show you how to link these together. So you can just click on it and go to your illustration pages, and go to your Photoshop images, and go to your video. Today, what we want to do is we want to create the template for these pages because we're going to be creating 6 of them. We don't want to duplicate work. We just want to do it once, right? So the first thing we're going to need to do is, in fact, we can also apply what we're going to do next to the home page. There's not much color here, right? So what we want to do is we want to set on a color scheme that we can use for all of our pages that we're going to build and put it as part of the template. So the colors will be set and then go back and add those colors to the home page so it's consistent. But let's first determine what colors you want to do and fonts, right? So click on the plus sign in your browser to open up another tab and type in Adobe Color um, Generator. I think it's that one. Adobe Color Palette Generator. Okay. And with this tool, you can extract themes and gradients. You can transfer Adobe Color themes into stunning content, or you can create color themes. You want to create color themes. Okay. There's several different ways to do this. The easiest way is to go to Trends and find one here that you like. And there's different color trends for different industries. Where these came from is designers. Designers, Adobe is the most popular design tool out there. So there's hundreds of thousands of designers that vote on these. Designers will add them and then other designers will vote. And the ones you see here are the ones that are are being voted to the top by fashion designers. Okay. There's also graphic designers. And so notice the colors are similar, but a little different. And then there's illustrators, and then there's UX designers, architects, game designers, travel. All right, so I think that probably the ones you want to choose here are graphic design. So let's view all the graphic design palettes. These are the ones that are the really most popular. So let's say that you like these colors, okay? What you would do is you would write these colors down, okay? And I'll show you in a minute where to put those, right? So those are called hex colors. That's the easiest way to do this assignment, is to find ones that you like. Now, websites are a little bit different. They tend to be not as bright as the graphic design or the game design, but I'll show you how to use these and then tone them down a little bit. They'll look better on a website. But the idea is you just copy these numbers down, boom, like that. That's one way. The other way is to generate them from a color wheel. And that's the create. You can also explore here, right? Let's say that you really like teal colors and you want to go with one of those, or you really like, um, you know, purple colors. So you can kind of choose them by color scheme. But where most students do it is they go to create and you get a color wheel, and then you're going to use a color mode, a color harmony setting, either analogous, monochromatic, triad, or complementary. I wouldn't go down here further. I think the triad is one of the most popular ones. And you'll notice that you can kind of choose colors that will automatically match. So what you don't want to do is just choose random colors. All those colors that I showed you in the trends and in the Explorer, they followed one of these color harmony rules. Now, what's different about websites is whereas games and maybe fashion tend to do very saturated colors are at the end and unsaturated are in the middle. Websites tend to be mostly unsaturated with maybe one or two that are near the end or on the end. So let's say that you really like that color purple. This will show you the other colors that go with that color purple that will make it look really good. What I recommend that you do, because we're building websites, is to take these and bring them into the center. And these are going to give you much better results than if you just go saturated all the way out. So these are really saturated colors. A couple are good for highlighting, but in general, if you look at websites like our website, they use pretty muted colors. So you can either use the triad. Monochromatic will let you do one in one kind of color shade. Like those are all purples. They work together. Most students want a little bit more variety, so they go with the triad or complementary. Complementary will give you a lot of contrast because notice that they're on opposite sides of the color wheel. So they complement each other. All right. Again, stick in the middle. And then once you find a scheme that you like, copy the number. Okay. So I'm going to pause the recording and give those of you that are with me here some time to just experiment with this. Okay, so let's say that you've decided on complementary colors and you really like this bright green, but everything else is muted. Okay, or let's say that you go to the trends and you really like that color scheme right there. So let's copy this bright red. Okay, and let's go back to Elementor. And we're going to go over to the, let's see, um, structure? No. Um, theme builder? Oh, I can never remember where this is. Theme builder? No. Let's see. This is under site settings. There we go. Okay. Under site settings, go to global colors. Now notice that you've got primary, secondary, text, and accent. So, and you can add additional ones too. So you're going to basically take all these colors and put them into here. So you need to decide what's going to be my accent color. Well, I recommend that your accent color is the really bright one. Okay, this one here. Like in the color wheel, you had one that stuck out on the edge. Make that your accent color. So let's copy that, go over to here, and right here under accent, we're going to paste it in. Command or Control V. Okay, so there's my accent color. The text color, I highly recommend that you either use gray or black. Okay, gray will be a little more elegant, but it's harder to read if it's too light. Okay, so now we're going to go up back here, and what is going to be your primary and secondary color? So let's let's make this one the primary color. Copy. Primary. This is going to be the most common color on your website, so you want to choose that one really carefully. And then my secondary color will be, let's say, this red. The gray isn't, the gray we can add it later as, so the secondary color will be the lighter shade of red. Okay? So once you choose your colors, you want to stick with those colors, right? Now you can add additional custom colors, right? And so if you have other colors in here that you want to add, just go ahead and pop those in. Control V, there it is. Right, let's say that you want to do another one. What you don't want to do is don't just do this random color here, right? Because this is not going to work. You want to use the color wheel here or the trends. I think this one, notice, gives you a bunch of different colors and all those will match. So most of you will probably use this color wheel, but get your colors in there. Next we want to do is fonts. And let me actually copy this and put it in the chat so those of you that are watching can just link there directly. There's the color tool. There's the color wheel. The next one is fonts. So Google has a lot of great fonts and they have a tool that makes it really easy. So it's fonts.google.com, I'm pretty sure. I can type it right. Okay, fonts.google.com. Hundreds and hundreds of fonts here. Well, not hundreds, but dozens. All right. So one way to do it is by feeling. Business, calm, artistic, loud, futuristic, active, Halloween, techno, really, really creative. So you can pick one. And what you want to do is you want to choose two, right? Choose one that's serifed and one that's sans serifed. If you're not sure what that is, there's a category down here of serif. Okay. Choose the serifed is going to be for your titles. Okay. So here's one called modern. Okay. Bodoni. So let's say that you like this one, domain. Okay. Then go back and choose a sans serif, right? So choose one. The serif is going to be for titles. The sans serif is going to be for the body text. Okay. So let's say we're going to do domain for the titles. So you're going to go back here to Elementor, and we're going to go back here to site settings. Okay. Oh, let's save the changes. Global fonts. And notice again, you have a primary and a secondary. Now the text is going to be your body text. All right, so what did I choose? Bodine? And they should match here. These are all Google fonts, so they should be in here. If not, find one that is. Boogaloo, Bodini. Okay. And notice you'll do two of them, one that's bigger than the other, right? So maybe one that's 32 for the primary, and then maybe one that's smaller for the secondary, but the same family. Okay. These are family names, Bodine. How many there are, Bodina. And what did I do? I think I did 32 and 22. Okay. And then for the text, you want to choose a sans serif down here. Let's do, oops. And notice they're in families, right? Let's do ASOL. Never heard of that one. Let's see if it's over here. ASOL. Text. And we'll do ASOL. I can also type it in here. There it is. ASOL. Okay. You'll find that they match perfectly. Right. And then on this one, I think anywhere between 14 to 16. I like to do maybe 17 as I get older. It's harder to read small sizes. So let's do 17 on that. 16. Okay. All right. So you're going to choose your fonts and you're going to choose so let's save changes. Primary and secondary are going to be serif fonts, maybe one at 28, one at 22, 30. I think big titles and big headings look good, so you could go larger than that if you wanted to. Now you've also got accent, right? Now the accent would be maybe for your logo, or maybe you're only going to use it once, right? So you could actually go back to here and do a really fancy one, like formal, one of these. Okay, one of these ones maybe, or handwritten, right? Or, one of these weird ones. Okay. You can do three, but that third one, maybe you just use it once on the home page. All right. So once you've chosen your colors and your fonts and your typefaces, you're going to go out of Elementor to exit to WordPress. You're going to create a new page. Call it template. Let's call it assignment template, because this is going to be what you're going to use for all your assignments. Okay. And we're going to publish it twice. And we're going to edit with Elementor. Okay, so these are going to be, all the pages will be exactly the same, right? So let's start with the site title. Usually you have the site title and the logo. So we'll do a 2-column here. And in your left box here, you're going to do an image. That's going to be your logo, right? And you can make that smaller. And over on the right, you'll do a heading. Okay. And the heading can be black or gray, or it can be one of the colors that you chose from your palette. So notice that if you go here, so this is going to be my, oops, you got to write it over here. Come on. Add heading here, my MMST 110 website. Okay. And that's going to be under style. We're going to make that under typography. The way that these work is the sizes. They're going to do, this is going to be smaller than the title. So let's say 24, right? All the pages will be the same. Now for the typography, click on the little icon and notice that here are my fonts. Okay, and this is going to be a secondary one. It's not quite as big as the page title, right? So this will be secondary. But there's my typeface. I can do text color if I want, and then notice that here are my colors. I'm just going to go with the text color here, but you can also go with under color. You could go with the red one if you wanted. But you're only going to choose colors from the globe there. Okay, primary. That way all your colors will match. Okay. I think gray here would be the best, or black. Right. Okay. Then down here, you're going to put your page title. So let's do another column. Let's do one column, and you're going to add another heading. This one's going to be a much bigger heading. So you'll go to style, and this one will be under typography primary. Okay. And notice that the sizes are already set. So this is the assignment. Now you're going to change this one. You're not going to change, but this one you're going to change it. So I'm going to put a note to myself here. Put assignment title, assignment name here. And I'm going to do this as italic. Okay, to remind myself. That will be changed. Here, you're going to do a 2-column. You can do either 2-column or 3. I think the best way to do this one is to just do an image in either the left or the right. You can choose which one. And then on the right, you're going to put a description of what that will look like. Okay. Now, the menu will be up here, notice, right? As you add each page, I'll show you that as you add each pages to your website, it'll appear up here. So you won't need to do a menu, but you can if you want. The way that some students do the menu is that they'll go in here and they'll do buttons. Let's say that you'll do like a 6-column layout here, and you'll come in here and you'll just do buttons for each one. Either way. So I'm going to add a button here. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to edit it. And this is where the colors come in. Notice that I'm going to go here for the text color and the body color. And I'm going to choose from my list. Let's do accent. So there's my button. And let's do for the text color, let's do this one. Okay? Probably not enough contrast there. Let's just do white. You might want to add white and black to your color palette. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, and then change the name. But that's how you'll set your colors up. So you can, if you want, you can do an optional menu there. You can also do additional rows if you want. But I would just duplicate this. And there it is down there, and maybe duplicate it one more time. So let's say you want to do 3 examples of your Photoshop images that you did, right? You can also just delete them too. Once you create the actual page, you'll use this template and you'll just delete this part of the template. But this will be the general template that you'll use. Okay. Actually, let me delete this one, delete this one, and delete this one. And let's do 6 of these. Duplicate it. I think you're going to have 6, right? AI, security, AI, Photoshop, Illustrator, website, and video. You need one more. Okay. And then you can adjust these however you want them. You can put them to the left or to the right, right? And then you'll have a footer down here. Okay, the footer will usually have two columns. It'll be usually darker colored. So we're going to go here and we're going to click on the section. And notice again for the section, we have background type. And then again, we have color. So you're going to choose, say, the accent color there. Right. And then usually here is copyright information, date. And then maybe here you could put another menu if you wanted. But I'll leave that blank. Actually, let's do this. Let's go back and put in some text here. So you can put in text there. And we're going to do color, text color. We'll do white. Okay. You can also put your logo down here if you want. So this might be copyright information or the date, College Marin, spring, fall 2025. Your name maybe down there too. You could put your name up here as well if you wanted. Again, this is going to be a template that you'll use for all your pages so that all the colors match, all the typefaces match. Oh, over here, you want to also, almost forgot, come here to style and set your typeface to text. And that way they'll all match. Same as here. I should have done that before I duplicated it. Let's delete this and let's delete this one. And let's just duplicate that because I've already got the typeface that's correct. Okay, so there it is. Very quick, very easy. And then you'll just, so what I recommend you do is for your AI assignment, just put in maybe 3 examples of AI images that you created, and then give us a description over here on what that was. How do you created it? I created it in Photoshop. I created it in Canva. I went to ChatGPT and I prompted it to do this, and it created this image. Give a little bit of explanation to each one. The idea is you have a mix of image and text, so one doesn't overwhelm the other. It's not too much image and not too much text. Okay. If you wanted to add a bit more, you can, right? Add any of these that you want. But let's say that this is finished. This is where you want it. Let's make it a template now. So we're going to go up here, and rather than publish it, we're going to save it as a template. So before we've been clicking on publish, now we're going to save it as a template. And let's call it assignment template, assignment page template. Same name as we did in Photoshop, template. And save it. Okay, and there it is right there. Let me show you how you'll use this template. Let's go out of Elementor. Let's exit to WordPress. Let's save everything. Good idea to save stuff. Okay, in case we want to change and update the template, we still have this page, right? But you won't use this anymore unless you want to make changes. We're going to go back, exit to WordPress. Go to pages, add a page, and let's call it security assignment. Okay, save it. Okay, we're going to edit with Elementor. Now, here's where it's different. Before we were using this button to add rows and columns, right? Now we're going to click on this button to actually load the template. And you've got, by the way, you've got these other things here that you could also drag in, and it kind of creates pieces of the website. We could have used this for a template actually. But let's go to templates, and there's my template that I just created, and we're going to insert it. Boom, there it is. This is going to be your logo, so you won't have to do anything there. This will be a preset. You don't have to do anything there. The assignment goes here. Security. Assignment. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I need to go. I always do that. Goes there. Security. Okay, the colors are all correct. And now I don't want this as italic, so I have to change that. So be sure to go back over here under typography. I'm going to do primary. And there we go. That looks great. Over here, I just describe what that is. Here, I upload some images to my website from my computer. The way you do that is you click here, choose image, select files, go to your computer, right? Find where those are and just pop them in. And so there it is. I'm going to select my couch. There it is. Do it for all of them. This template, this footer should already be done, right? You'll fill that out in the template level with your logo or your menu or your copyright or your name. And that's a very, very quick way to build out your website. So you'll build out your 6 or 7 pages. What we'll do is we'll come back in a few weeks and I'll show you how to link up your pages into this menu right here, right? I'll let you create a few of them and we'll add the link to the template and then you won't need to do that anymore. So the after you'll have to go back to the other page and link it up. But once we get it in the template, you won't have to even link the pages up anymore. It'll be already linked. Pretty straightforward. I think the most important one is, create what you want that your website to look like with your colors and typefaces. And then you may want to make your template look a little bit better. Now, if you need to go back and modify your template, I've saved this. I'm going to go back to WordPress and exit out of this page. And under Elementor, templates right there are your saved templates. So you go to here, assignment page template, edit with Elementor. You can now go in and change this. Let's say that you forgot to put in the title. That's going to be your security assignment right here. Come on. Oh, the link goes there. And security. Oh, the text goes here. Sorry, security. Okay, so you can go ahead and make changes to this. Now, the trouble is if you've already created your security page, you'll need to redo it because this does not, in other words, once you've created that page, if you go back and modify your template, it won't change it on the page. I'll show you. So this is going to be Photoshop. And now notice that I'm going to update this and publish it. If I go back to the page that I previously created with this template, it doesn't update with these changes. You'll have to recreate it, right? That's the only bummer. I wish that they had it where it linked back, but I'll show you. If we go back to pages to the security assignment, I don't think they've updated this. Yeah, notice that those buttons aren't updated. So it's better to take your time on the template and really make it nice and kind of spend the effort there. But if you do later want to change the template, you'll have to delete this page and start over again, right? With the new template. I'll show you. You'll basically go to this page, security assignment, and you'll trash it. Okay, it's gone. And then add a new page, call it security assignment, security page, edit with element, oh, let's save it. Okay. Go here and add the new template in. And notice that the buttons will now be there that I changed. There they are. But all my content is gone. So just be aware that it's better to kind of make these changes to your template once. And then from that finished template, build out all your pages very, very quickly. Any questions? That's basically it.